To convert a fraction to a decimal, you want to divide the numerator of the fraction by the denominator of the fraction. So we're going to convert the fraction 3 over 4 into a decimal. So we're going to write it 4, the denominator, dividing into 3, the numerator. So 4 cannot go into 3 evenly, so we can just put a decimal point here and an extra 0. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this decimal and move it up here. So instead of dealing with 3.0, we're going to deal with 30. Now how many times does 4 go into 30? It does not go in evenly, but the closest it can come is when it gets to 28, which is 7 times. So 7 times 4 is going to give us 28, the closest we can get to 30 without going over. And we're going to subtract, and we're going to end up getting 2. So again, 4 does not go into 2 evenly, so we're going to have another 0 here, and we're going to bring it down. And now we got 20. So how many times does 4 go into 20? It actually will go in evenly. It will go into it 5 times. So 5 times 4 is going to give us 20. Subtract it, and we're going to get 0 as a remainder. So 3/4, the fraction gets turned into 0.75 as a decimal. Next, we're going to have the fraction 7 over 40. So again, the denominator 40, bring it down, and then divide it by 7. Again, 40 will not go into 7 evenly, so we're going to have our decimal place we're going to put up here right away. And now we're going to see how many times does 40 go into 70. It does not go in evenly, but the closest it can go into it without going over is 1 time. So 1 times 40 is going to give us 40. And subtract, and we're going to get 30. And again, we're going to need another 0, so we're just going to put a 0 here. Now how many times does 40 go into 300? It won't go in evenly, but the closest it's going to get is 7 times without going over. So 7 times 40 is going to give us 280. Subtract it, and we're going to get 20. And again, we're going to bring another 0 down here. And we ask how many times does 40 go into 200? It actually will go in evenly. It will go in 5 times. So 5 times 40 is going to give us 200. Subtract it, and we will get 0, so we have nothing left over. So the fraction 7 over 40 is going to be converted to the decimal 0.175. Lastly, we have the fraction 2 over 3. So we're going to bring 3 here, divide it into 2. 3 will not go into 2 evenly, so we're going to put a decimal point up here and a 0. And we're going to see how many times does 3 go into 20. It does not go in evenly, but the closest it can get to is 6 times without going over. So 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract, and we're going to get 2. And bring another 0 down. Now 3 goes into 20. Again, not evenly, but the closest it can get is 6 times. And again, we do 6 times 3. We're going to get 18. And we're going to get 2 again. And we can go through this again, 20. It's another 6. It's going to be 18 again. And it's going to repeat over and over and over again. So since it's just going to be the same decimal repeating over and over, we can say that 2 over 3 is equal to 0.6 repeating. So we just put a bar over it to indicate that it is a repeating decimal.